Stereo, Deluxe. Stereo, but Deluxe. Tell you what, let's take a look at both and make sure you wind up with the one that's right for you. I'll have to check with the channel's archivist to verify this claim, but I'm pretty sure that just set the record for the most number of guitars in an opening jam. We had the Reverend Warhawk 390 into the Deluxe to kick it off. And then the Reverend Jetstream with the stereo and a little bit of blues driver for the first middle part. Jazzmaster with the Deluxe for the second middle part. GNL Legacy Special with the stereo on the way out. And then because bass loves flanger too, there's some deluxe action in there with a Fender jazz bass. Right now there are 3 Electric Mistresses listed on the Electro-Harmonix website. There's the Stereo Electric Mistress. They've also got the Deluxe Electric Mistress. And they've got the Neo Electric Mistress. Yeah, I don't have one of those, although from what I can tell, they seem more like a straight-ahead flanger, where these are a little more mysterious. They cover a little bit more ground, so we're going to focus on these for the time being. The original Electric Mistress first hit the scene in 1976, possibly 75, and they were the first flanger in a pedal that you could buy. Time passed, seasons changed, and a number of versions of the Electric Mistress became available for purchase. But for a lot of people looking for a taste of that effect, it comes down to these 2 XO-sized pedals, and they look at these and they wonder, what's the deal? Why are there 2 of these? Well, before we get too deep into the product, let's give a little primer on delay-based effects. We all know what happens when you apply a delay in the triple-digit millisecond range to a signal. You get delay, or echo. And if we shorten that delay to around 20 milliseconds, and we start to vary the actual amount of delay back and forth just a little bit, then we get a multi-voiced effect commonly known as chorus. And then when we shorten that delay down into single-digit millisecond territory, something weird starts to happen. We no longer hear that second voice in there. We get interference between the original signal and the delayed signal. And it would be really easy for me to go down a rabbit hole right here. But the net of it is that we get this phenomenon known as a comb filter, where certain frequencies are getting phased or filtered out. And that is the filter matrix feature of the Electric Mistress. It's a series of filters that we can sweep back and forth like this. Of course, that's a lot of work, so most of the time we're just going to flip this guy over here and let the rate knob drive that filter matrix back and forth for us. Our other two knobs here are color and range. Range is simply how far back and forth we want to sweep that delay. And color is how much of the delayed signal do we want to send back to be re-delayed to make it a thicker, more pronounced effect. Now, between these two knobs, this pedal covers a whole lot of ground, going between textbook flanger and something more like a chorus to even something sounding rotary-esque. And that's why a lot of people are surprised to hear, oh, that's an Electric Mistress, and oh, that's a flanger. And if we crank the color knob up past around 3 o'clock, it starts to self-oscillate and do some pretty interesting metallic resonance kind of stuff. So that's the Deluxe Electric Mistress, and I've got a full-length video about it you can watch for more demos and more information. It's the closest in lineage to the original ones from the 70s, but I know it's not the same. That's not what I'm saying at all. No one's trying to take away your vintage pedals. In fact, I really want one of those. They're just really expensive. All I'm saying here is that this has more in common with this than this. This is the Stereo Electric Mistress. This is a combination flanger chorus pedal, and that's not all crazy of a premise. I'm a big fan of the TC Electronic SCF stereo chorus flanger. I've also got a full-tone choral flange, chorus and flanger, but you don't often see them with both effects on at the same time. So you've got a short delay for the chorus effect, a super short delay for the flanger effect, and they're both going to oscillate at the same rate set by this rate knob right here. Give it a listen as I bring in each effect individually and then blend them together. It's kind of hard to make out in the overhead shots, but the stereo has this neat little color changing LED right here, and that serves as a status light and as an indicator of what the LFO, the low frequency oscillator, is doing. You can see the higher we turn it, the faster it goes, and as we reach around here, it starts going very slowly and it eventually hits a spot where it's in filter matrix mode, kind of like when we flip the switch on the Deluxe. And when it's over here, we can drive the filter matrix manually. Now, I really like this pedal, and I know I'm not supposed to because, well, first of all, it's digital. Who let you in here? And second, a true Electric Mistress isn't supposed to have a chorus effect in it. But I think there's something really nice about a thick, lush chorus effect that also has a little bit of scrape in it from the flanger being mixed in. One thing I really don't care about is whether either of these deserve to be called Electric Mistresses. Electro-Harmonix calls their pedals whatever they feel like, and good for them. Boss names their pedals like they're labeling chemicals in a laboratory. Electro-Harmonix names their stuff based on what's gonna look good on a pedal or what feels good to say. What do you think Boss would call the tube zipper? There's also the whole stereo thing. Obviously, the stereo one is stereo, and I don't have a stereo setup, but I can record a dry clip and then re-record it to give you an approximation. Sounds like this. But the Deluxe has two outputs as well. One output is the regular effect output, the other is the dry output, which is wired directly to the input jack. And at least according to a couple of posters on the gear page, this can give a little bit of a stereo effect itself. So let's give that a listen. And there you have it. Here's my short suggestion if you're on the fence between these two. If you're looking for an Electric Mistress because you heard something played by David Gilmour, Andy Summers, John Frusciante, Jay Mascis, then go for the Deluxe. That's what this thing is meant for. If you're after something a little more like a flexible modulation effect, then check out the stereo. Either way, I'm glad I was able to put this video together. I've seen these compared for a while, and I thought I'd tackle it head on. Plus, this guy, on its own merits, I think it's a bit of a hidden gem. Just my 2 cents, though, and I've got plenty more where that came from. I'll catch you on the next one.